As we consider the topic of stress, we invite you to Proverbs chapter 12 and verse number 25. There we read these words: worry weighs a person down, an encouraging word cheers a person up. Beloved, we are living in times where people are experiencing the heaviness of calamities and distresses in life. People are struggling with anxiety. They're dealing with fears. They find themselves dreading experiences, adversity, sorrow, grief, are all things that compound the heaviness in a person's heart. And one of the things that we find in these times is that things that would not have bothered us as much pre-COVID perhaps bother us more now. It's because when we have underlying issues and we add to that, it amplifies or magnifies our emotional response. Because we have seen a near insurrection of our government, if not an actual insurrection. We have seen the pandemic and the loss of lives, not to mention the other calamities and distresses of life. When we deal with those things that are beneath the surface in our psyche and are challenging us in our emotions, and then we add to that other factors, other things that we deal with, it's no wonder something small and seemingly insignificant bothers us so greatly. It's because we have other things that are compounding and amplifying our frustrations and our emotions. So often when we think about how to alleviate these problems, we have a tendency to think in terms of what we can receive. All of us love to receive. But have you ever thought about sowing and perhaps blessing others? Think, for example, of what is mentioned in Proverbs 12 and 25. Not the part about worrying weighing a person down, but an encouraging word cheering a person up. Let me offer to you the challenge not to be the receiver, but to be the giver. Some would say, what is the advantage? The advantage number one is that we get an opportunity to get outside of ourselves. Certain times we focus on ourselves and we feel overwhelmed, but when we start looking at helping others, it's amazing how better we feel as we put our own circumstances in perspective. Second, the Bible teaches that you reap what you sow. If you don't take time to sow into other people's lives, can you reasonably expect a time of reaping? And third, and most important, when you do what is right, God will bless you with his favor. So let me ask you to be the giver, to be the sower, in giving people some things that we all need. People need comfort, people need cheer, and people need courage. Will you take this challenge with me? Will you, number one, be a person who's willing to bless somebody else? Just do something to enhance someone else's life. Bless them with courage. Bless them with cheer. Bless them with comfort. Second, are you willing to believe in someone? We have discovered that over the last year or so, the suicide rate has been at an all-time high. People are dealing with frustrations and anxieties, and even our young people are unfortunately making decisions to end their lives. One factor among many is that people think that no one cares and no one believes in them. Do you know what a blessing it is to help someone know that you believe in them? You believe in them because God saw fit to create them. You believe in them because they have talents, they have gifts, they have abilities. And sometimes a person just needs someone to come along and encourage them by saying, I believe in you. I can tell you it's a wonderful feeling to know that someone cares enough to say that they believe in you. Number three, will you work to build someone? People are torn down by so many realities of life. People have so many things that weigh heavy on them, as we see here in Proverbs 12 and 25. People don't need another critic. They don't need another naysayer. They don't need another negative person. They need somebody to build them up. Will you take the challenge to bless others, to believe in others, and to build someone else up? All they need is some comfort, some cheer, and some courage. You might be surprised at how good you feel when you take this challenge and be a blessing in others' lives. And you might be surprised at how much favor you'll yield from God. This has been another installment of A Few Minutes with the Minister.